What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. About a month or so ago, I made an article talking about the Eon Gaming XBHD Xbox Adapter and if this thing was going to be revolutionary for the old school original Xbox. And the company that made these actually saw this article and reached out to me and said, "Hey, Smash, do you want to review one for us?" And I'm like, okay. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for my full breakdown and thoughts on this Eon XBHD adapter for the original Xbox. And for those of you who are new to the channel, you may not have known that I have covered the Eon Super 64 adapter, which was a similar type of device for the N64. And if you're interested in watching more on that video, I'll put a link above me here. For this video right now, we're going to talk about what this Eon adapter even is and why I think it could be pretty special. While I typically don't do unboxing on this channel, this one is a little bit different. I wanted to show you guys how they sent this to me. I'm not sure if this is how they're going to send it to everyone, but at least for a reviewer, they send it in this nice box. Let me check out this letter and see what they sent. That is beautiful card. Oh, embargo and launch notes. Okay, that's for me. Eon, back, start, welcome. We got the Xbox controller right there. And they said the Xbox. In 2001, this newcomer would not only go toe-to-toe with console giants Sony and Nintendo, but also permanently solidify its place in the gaming industry as we know it. Thank you for taking the time to try our new device. We hope the XBHD inspires you to relive the memories of these amazing games and empowers you to bring your family and friends together for a party experience like never before. Happy gaming, the Eon team. And I don't know if that's stamped on there, but those look like real signatures, which would be pretty cool if it was. So, really cool. Well, let's see what we got. This is a cookie? Oh my god, that is awesome. Sweet Eats Bake Shop. Life should be sweet. I mean, you can't buy my positive review by sending me a free product, but sending me a cookie with your name on it, I don't know, that changes things. This is some immaculate packaging. Look at this. And glasses? Really? That is awesome. An embroidered pin? That is gorgeous. Are this a t-shirt? That is beautiful. Look at that. Oh, that is a good fit. Beautiful. Beautiful. And here it is. This is one hell of a welcome package, by the way. Thank you very much to the team over at Eon Gaming just for sending all this stuff. And here we have the XBHD. I'd imagine when you purchase it, this is all that's going to be sent to you. This feels expensive, which I'm sure is what they're going for. Setup is easy. Supercharge your Xbox, play any Xbox game on any HD TV, outputs the highest quality video signal, eliminates input latency, full LAN party support, no router needed, no additional modding or power required. Setup is easy. Plug the Eon XBHD into your Xbox. Connect HD cable from Eon XBHD to HD TV. Enjoy the Xbox's full potential. Seems easy enough. And the LAN party situation is pretty smooth as well. How do I do this? Is this magnet? Oh, it's magnet. There we go. That is nice. I mean, A+ for the packaging. I know it is just packaging, but still. There it is. There's a lot going on in this tiny little thing. It's fairly light, I'd say. I mean, no joke, it's like probably 3 pairs of these sunglasses, maybe 2 pairs. It's very light. And we have the back here plugging directly into the AV cable area and the Ethernet, and that plugs directly into the back of the original Xbox. And then on the other side, it has basically a router capability inside of this that will split the Ethernet to allow you to have a local LAN party. And then you can also have dual selected displays. That's very convenient. 2 different HDMI outs. So that's pretty wild. Let's give this thing a test drive to see what it looks like. And I'm also going to compare it to what it looks like with regular video. I don't have a capture device for AV, so I'm going to just show it on the TV screen and compare it directly to the Elgato capture when I put this thing through it. All right, so I've just spent a tremendous amount of time on this, 2 days of just putting it through the rigor. I've put a highlight reel together of a few of the games that stood out to me and the experiences that I had with them that I'm going to start playing right now, starting with Halo 2. Probably my all-time favorite game on the original Xbox. And first thing most people gotta notice is the screen on the left, the XBHD, is a lot darker. That can be adjusted in the settings, but I purposefully left it darker because I feel like the image looked even better when it was darker. And that's kind of a user by user basis. I don't want to speak for everyone, but it was my preference. But I was able to brighten it and lower the brightness, and I felt like this is what looked best. This game here, Indigo Prophecy, probably my second favorite game on the original Xbox. A fantastic experience that originally, on the right side of the screen through the audio video cables, it played like a movie, but on the XBHD, it looks like a movie and plays like a movie. So in a weird way, it kind of changes the experience just enough to make it worthwhile to go back to a game that you've played a million times before just to see what it looks like and see how it feels playing through this adapter. Now this one here, Ninja Gaiden Black, look right here. I'm going to rewind it real quick because this is a really important part I wanted to show you guys. Let me pause it right at Ryu's face here. And look at the crisp details of the eyes. You can see like the wrinkles under his eyes and the mask, the little wrinkles in the mask, and the ripples in the water behind him. Everything about the XBHD brings it to, it almost feels like, I don't want to go so far as to say like a next gen game, but it brings the original Xbox games into the new era of gaming. It feels like a new console that you're playing these old games with. And maybe you need to play it to know what I'm saying, because I don't know if these videos that I'm showing you here are doing it the justice that it deserves. The ripples and the water effects, the sound coming from the TV, especially via the HDMI, sounded crisp, sounded really good. It was an excellent experience overall. And looping back to Halo 2 here, I'm going to go through this just one more time to drive home the point with you guys of just how special the graphical upgrade via using the HDMI out truly was. As far as my overall experience with this, it was a little bit of a mixed bag. We had some issues regarding setting it up through the Elgato and getting the sound output captured properly. This is something I'll speak to more when I go back to my office, but it was not something I would blame Eon for, because it works through the TV and it doesn't work through the Elgato capturing. So I'm assuming it has something to do with my Elgato settings, and I just wasn't able to figure that out. But as far as through the TV output, sounded fantastic, sounded crisp, sounded great, sounded better in my opinion than the AV cables that came with the original Xbox. So in addition to the increased higher quality graphical rendering, the audio output was great as well. That was one of the minor issues I had with this, but then I also had some major successes with this as well, where it made me want to go back and play all these old original Xbox games again to feel like I'm playing them all over again in a brand new environment. So if you're someone that hasn't played the original Xbox for a long time and you're looking for a reason to go back to it, this would be Exhibit A for, okay, here's a reason to revisit my original Xbox. Problem is, it's not cheap. It's something I'm going to speak to more when I go back to the office as well. I believe it's $189.99 USD. We're talking almost $200 for this bad boy. It's not a small investment by any stretch. So it's a very serious decision on if you're going to purchase one of these. and make sure that you're going to get the most out of your Xbox. If you're going to be buying it, it would be where I'd start. Something I haven't even tested or spoke to was the 3 Ethernet ports on the back of it for the local LAN party. I don't have 4 Xboxes to test that here. My hope is that they do work flawlessly, but I cannot speak to that because I did not test them. But assuming they do, that would be the main reason why a lot of people would want to purchase this. But for me, it would be because I want the higher quality, higher graphical output, higher fidelity video capture through the HDMI and the ease of access, setting it up to the TV. I have HDMI splitters and things like that. It makes it easier and it looks much better. And oh, bonus, if I ever did have a LAN party, which I'm not expecting anytime soon, I have the ability to just plug other Xboxes in and put on different TVs. And that's pretty cool. So this offers a lot. It also costs a lot. And we're going to go back to the office and talk more about all this stuff. But for this portion of the video, I just wanted to kind of overlay some of the footage, speak to my experiences with it, the failures I had, the successes I had, and my overall take. We're going to go back to the office and cover all that in much greater detail. All right, I'm back to give my complete thoughts, full overview, the good and the bad, my takeaways from this eon XBHD adapter, what I liked, what I didn't, and maybe give you some insight so that you can figure out if this is right for you or not. First off, I didn't know this about my Xbox. I haven't played it for a long time, but my disk drive is burnt out. Didn't work. And I was freaking out because I had to do this review, and it's been so long since I played my original Xbox that I didn't know that the disk drive wasn't working anymore. So before you do anything, make sure your Xbox disk drive still reads the discs. I had to last second. Thankfully, my buddy had an extra Xbox to let me borrow for this review, or else I would not have been able to do it. And I was doing research on what was wrong with it, why it wasn't reading the discs, and apparently there's a fairly high fail rate on these Xboxes with their disc reading capabilities because they're old. They're very old consoles, and that is a major drawback to them. So if the disk drive isn't functioning, you're gonna need to either get a new Xbox or adapt it to playing ROMs and hacking it so that it can play without using the disk drive. And that's one thing you're going to want to take into account with this, is make sure your Xbox is functioning. Because for me, I was looking forward to reviewing this because I'm like, I love the adapter for the N64. It made me feel like I was playing these old games in a brand new way, and it made the experience new again. And just because I hadn't played my Xbox in forever doesn't mean I don't want to play my Xbox. This was giving me a reason to do that. Secondly, other issue that I had, this one again, not on Eon, but something you want to definitely keep in mind is, I don't know if there was a problem with my Elgato XD60S, but it wasn't compressing the audio properly. It was sounding all garbled and erroring, like while it was trying to output the audio. There was a audio file mismatch or something, and I couldn't figure that out. So if you're planning on getting one of these, I spoke to Eon. They said that they did troubleshooting, that they didn't have any issues. They captured all their stuff on an Elgato, so it may just be centered around me, but something to keep in mind is you might have some issues capturing like I did. And I checked, I unplugged it from my Elgato and I plugged in my Nintendo Switch, and the audio worked perfectly fine on the Switch when it was capturing. So I don't know what the issue was. When I plugged the HDMI into a TV from the XBHD, it worked perfectly fine and sounded great. So as long as I'm using this just to play it on a TV and upscale it to HD with this adapter, then that's not an issue whatsoever. But something to keep in mind for people that wanted to get this for capturing footage. I don't know if you're going to run into the same thing that I did. And I guess 3, another negative, and this one is on Eon, the price is absurd. I gotta be honest, like $190 is an insane amount of money to be asking for this. So I would strictly recommend it for the absolute Xbox purists out there, or people that just have way too much money that they know what to do with. This is something that can definitely benefit you. As far as my research is concerned, I haven't tried other adapters. I hear there are other ones on the market. I haven't researched this whatsoever at all, but it's something that I would strongly recommend doing if you were looking to upscale your Xbox with an HDMI adapter. There may be alternatives out there for far less. Obviously, the capabilities are going to be far less. Probably not going to have a local LAN party and stuff like that. But if you're looking to do this for cheaper, strictly just for the HDMI out, there may be better options out there for you. Now, that's really the negatives. Let me now talk about the positives, the takeaways that I had from this that really wowed me. The graphics felt like I was playing, like I said, and not a next gen, but bringing an old game, breathing new life into it, bringing it up to date where it feels like I'm playing this on modern hardware and it's upscaled, that it's been remastered. Things like that came to mind while I was playing this. It was definitely a very special, and I might even go so far as to say surreal experience, especially Ninja Gaiden. I was blown away, and again, I don't know if the footage I captured is going to do it justice. When I was playing this through the TV, just playing it for fun, I was like, whoa, it feels like the original Xbox really wasn't that far away from what technology is right now as far as graphics go once you upscale it. Obviously, there's a gap, but this kind of curves that and shortens that gap to bring these up to almost where modern gaming is. And if you're a retro gamer or an old school enthusiast or an Xbox traditionalist and you have to have everything for Xbox, I can't recommend this enough. And the other main reason for this is the local LAN parties. Like I said, for my purposes, I don't really plan on doing that. But if you run any kind of events, or if you get groups together, or you want to run a competition with people or get the neighborhood together, this is like the perfect adapter for that. If maybe 20 years too late, it would have been nice to have something like this available a while ago, back when I was doing LAN parties with my Xbox, because it would have made my life so much easier. But for people that still do LAN parties or want to return to those days, this adapter is legit made for those purposes. And while I didn't test it to see if it works as they said it does, I couldn't imagine a reason why this wouldn't be great. And the audio that came out of the TV, and there's even a headphone jack in the back of this that you can listen to, that worked flawlessly as well for me. It was only strictly capturing the audio on my Elgato that I just couldn't figure out what the problem was. I tried a lot of things, and I hesitate to even bring that up in this because I don't want people telling me, oh, try this, try. Trust me, I tried pretty much everything and it didn't work. So I don't want this to turn into be like a troubleshooting video. I just want to let you know I had some issues trying to capture it. I'm going to still work on it. And if I do figure out what the problem was, I'll pin a comment below this letting you guys know what it was and how I resolved it in case anyone else runs into those issues. But overall, my experience with this thing was, it was fantastic. It blew my mind. It was everything I hoped it would be as far as video output onto a TV. The multi-outputs, the 2 HDMI splitters is super convenient. I set it up and had it on my computer, and I put a TV next to me, had them both running Halo at the same time flawlessly. There was no lag, no stuttering, nothing at all. This unit wasn't overheating. There was no problems at all. It handled everything flawlessly. But it's a very high price to pay, and I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't say that. Like $190 plus tax in California, you're talking over $200 for one of these bad boys to be able to output your original Xbox in HD. So it's going to strictly be for the purists or the people that want the local LAN parties and ease of access for those. But for everyone else, you're going to stick to the Xbox 360 with the HDMI out, playing the backwards compatible games, and they look pretty much the same on that themselves. So there's not really a huge need or use for this thing for the vast majority of people. And I just got to be honest with you there. I don't want people just throwing money at this company because I said it's cool. It is cool, but it's not for everyone. If you feel like you're going to be running LAN parties, or if you're original Xbox purist, then yeah, obviously this is the perfect device for you. Everyone else, nah, skip it. You don't need it. It's not an absolute necessity. If anything, play the games that have been upscaled on the Xbox 360 or the Xbox Series X/S from the original Xbox and get by that way. There's really no real need for this for the vast majority of people. But again, I just got to be honest with you guys. I want genuinely thank you to Eon Gaming for sending this to me for review. I think it is fantastic for what they say it does. I think the price is outrageous. I think there's other alternatives out there, and I think there's only a small sector of the gaming population out there that could really benefit from this. For everyone else, no. I think that's where we're at with this. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this review you learned something and that all the work I put into it wasn't for waste. I enjoyed doing this, and Eon, again, thank you for allowing me to be one of the people to review this. Genuinely appreciate it. I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing. Smash,